Hello and welcome to the second news of the day. So much news. My name is Phil Chambers and I am here as ever with Gareth Morgan to talk a little bit about SmackDown this time, because a lot of things happened, didn't they?
There was so much we couldn't actually fit it in that first video. So let's just jump into it. We've got loads of stuff. So it happened. The big thing, we've got to start. Bayley and Sasha are no more. They didn't both just like destroy each other and disappear. That was confusing. No, they split up. There was a big fallout. They had the rematch for their women's tag team championships against Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, and they won. Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler. Nia Jax did this really quite impressive. I've got to give her a dues. It was like a crossbody onto the pair, onto Bayley and Sasha Banks. They won, and Sasha battered a knee all the way through the match. And it was looking like Bayley was going to help her. She was like, come on, everyone, give us some space. We'll take her out of the ring. And then just as they were coming out of the ring, she just booted her in the face. And it was, I like spat out bits of cereal. There was a scene. There was a lot. There was a lot going on. We obviously knew it was coming at some point, but it was just a case of when. And I didn't necessarily think they were going to pull the trigger without actual fans in the arena. But, you know, Thunderdome and all that. So, yeah, this is happening, Phil. It's happening.
It is happening. They've been ramping it up in recent weeks since just before SummerSlam. They started to ramp up the sort of interactions between them and the little barbs between them. And then obviously with things that happened at SummerSlam, with Sasha losing her title and now losing the tag titles, all falling apart for the golden role models. No longer two belts, Banks and Bayley Dose straps. But yeah, they finally pulled the trigger of it. There is a little thing added on to this, though, that WWE have announced their injuries for Sasha, haven't they?
Yes, there's injuries to Sasha Banks. It was weirdly placed, this, because she got taken away in an ambulance. Big E also got taken away in an ambulance on the night. And then they also had the promo video of Drew McIntyre being taken away in an ambulance, if I'm not mistaken. So there was a lot of...
better than one storyline ambulance? 3!
It felt like that. I was like, yeah, we get it. Okay, they get injured, they go to a local medical facility. So yeah, that happened a few times. So they're now storyline injured. But the big thing was obviously Big E was going to be involved in this Fatal 4-Way. This big Fatal 4-Way has been advertised for the number one contendership for Roman Reigns' Universal title at Clash of Champions. And then he was taken out. So who replaced him? Who, I hear you ask? None other.
Who?
Oh, God, that's just insult to injury, that, Phil. The man got injured. Come on.
I'm sorry,
soon.
Biggie.
Too soon. It was Jey Uso. Yeah.
What?
So, I mean, I'm all here for this. If they're just going to randomly keep pushing people who are brilliantly talented wrestlers who are normally in tag teams, I'm here for that. He was great. He was great in the match. He didn't steal the victory, but he was very opportunistic with the victory because it was looking like Matt Riddle was going to win. He did his floating bro off the top rope, and then he didn't really connect. So he hurt himself a little bit. So I don't know if that was planned. If it was, it looked really good. And then Jey Uso hit him with a splash and won the match. And it was like, whoa. But he only got into the match. It was weird. There was like an ongoing story throughout the night of Roman Reigns being a bit like, oh, you need to respect Paul. Paul's my guy now. And Jey went backstage at one point just before the match. And he was like, oh, thanks, bro. Like, thank you for getting me in this Fatal 4-Way. And he was like, I didn't do it. It was Paul. So whether there's going to be an alliance of sorts after this match, maybe, I'm not sure, but I didn't know I needed this, but yeah, I need it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is going to be really good fun. Finally shining, like Jimmy Uso getting a chance to shine in the spotlight. Obviously, he's amazing in tag matches, and the Usos are like one of the best tag teams they've had in the last 10 years. So yeah, it's going to be quite interesting to see where this goes.
Yeah, and it's quite hard to segue into this one, really, but Bray Wyatt was back. He was he was the champion. There you go, the Universal Champion. He's not anymore. He was a bit sad about this. Obviously, he wasn't included in the Fatal 4-Way match for reasons. Like, he lost, I guess, so you don't get in it. Very odd.
Yeah.
So he was just talking about all that, being sad that he's not got the belt anymore. And then he said, well, it's fine, because next week we're going to cheer everyone up by bringing in a new friend into the Firefly Funhouse. I was
exciting.
Like, who's it going to be?
Amazingly. If you click this link, or is it this link? I don't know where the links appear. At one of the corners, Kayfabe News, subscribe to Kayfabe News on YouTube, youtube.com/Kayfabe News. Might have a little bit of a scoop about who the friend might be.
It's me.
Click the link.
Is it? No? I'm going to be a puppet. It's going to be great.
You. No, sorry.
Oh, that's a shame. Yeah, so I quite like little stuff like this, like little, like, ooh, what's it gonna be? Little reveals. Like, it could just turn out to be Postman Pierce again, and is what it is, I guess. I don't know.
And that's now his role forever.
I'd love that if it was. Were there any other teases / potential reveals on this episode, Phil?
There was indeed. Amazingly, though, we got a little vignette of some heels walking. That was pretty much it. A lady's feet in, what we assume is a lady's feet in heels, walking with like draped over like a sort of fur coat or something draped alongside it, and they just kind of walked up, did a little spin around, and then walked back past the camera, and that was pretty much it. So speculation is rampant about who it might be, obviously. I've got two little things that I think it may possibly be, but I'll probably end up being completely wrong. Peyton Royce is one possibility. It's a bit of a, maybe an odd character switch for her, but like leaving the Iconics, and then like maybe a transfer to SmackDown to separate her from Billie Kay, and like really cement her as like her own character. I think we've had reports about Vince McMahon being high on her as a singles competitor, so you never know. And the other possibility, maybe Chelsea Green from NXT as a call-up. If they can somehow get her to do her hot mess character in WWE, that would be brilliant, and I would be all for that. But I mean, if it's not them, it's probably just Emelina again, isn't it?
Oh, don't do this. Don't, no. I mean, I've got a really sneaking, horrible suspicion, and I say horrible, hear me out, Mandy Rose, I feel like it might be, and the only reason that's horrible in my mind is because I feel like she's come so far away from that glam character. I feel like she's really progressed, and she's just got this fiery personality now where she just doesn't take anyone's BS and just kicks ass, and I quite like that, so I can see why, because she looks quite similar. I think she's, apparently somebody said she'd worn a similar type of heel earlier in her career in WWE. I wasn't paying that much attention to her heels, I'm not sure. But then also there's a very subtle thing, I'm not sure many people have maybe caught up on this, but obviously AEW, you've got the AEW heels thing going on right now, like that's the new push for them. Is this some kind of weird subtle dig at that? I don't know.
Quite possibly. It's not beyond WWE, is it?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm intrigued. We'll see what happens.
Absolutely. Is there any other news from SmackDown, or was that it?
They're the big stories. Like Alexa Bliss said sorry to Nikki Cross, and Ramblin' Rabbit was in the background, which, he's not here, is he?
Of course, he's not. No,
okay.
Sorry.
It happens. Yeah, I think that's about it, really.
Then I guess the final thing for this news video is AOP have been released by WWE. WWE released their now just completely stock statement that they released for everyone of just WWE has come to the terms on the release of Akam and Razor, and we wish them all the best in their future endeavours. They were signed back in 2015, obviously being NXT Tag Team Champions, Raw Tag Team Champions. They've been off TV for a long time because Razor got injured, and then there were plans to bring them back. But apparently they were just completely scrapped due to the ongoing global bastard. I guess classic case of creative has nothing for you. And one more onto the chopping block for WWE.
It makes sense though, because they've got such a stacked tag division and they don't need any bodies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, who needs more tag teams, eh?
It's a massive shame, because they had some serious, but they weren't the finished product. They weren't I'm not going to beat around that bush at this point, but they had something. We saw it in NXT. Like they picked up the momentum and slowly they slowly got over in NXT. It's just on the main roster, I think they were just burdened with not bad gimmicks per se, but just burdened with really weird partnerships. Just like thrown in there with.
A bit weird.
It was like they were with Drake Maverick at one point. I thought it was going to go well from when they got obviously paired with Seth Rollins, but then injuries got in the way. Surely they would have been able to fit back in with Rollins. I thought that would be really.
You would have thought that would be a natural fit straight back in. I mean, damaged them a bit when they didn't bring Paul Ellering with them to the main roster for whatever reason. And then, like you say, random managers. And then they had the thing where they were like wearing the suits for a while in all the vignettes, and then that never really went anywhere. It's like, it's another one of WWE failing tag teams. The long list of failed tag teams that WWE just haven't really helped, really.
Where do they go now? That's the question.
It's quite interesting. Obviously, have they both got MMA backgrounds, or is it just?
I think one. I know one does. That's that. Yeah, probably should have researched that bit.
Probably, yeah.
Okay,
I definitely read this out. Yeah.
Oh.
I can't remember. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's not like a guaranteed pickup for AEW or anything. I don't know what happens to them next, but we wish them all the best with whatever it is that they end up doing.
Oh, I'm just getting the scoop. Yeah, one of them's going to be fighting Brock Lesnar in the UFC. That's happening. I've just got that through. So,
Definitely. You heard it here first. Hey, if it happens now, you'll look like a genius.
I mean, I don't lie to the people, Phil. It is what it is. Like,
I mean, it's not going to happen, but, whatever. And that was the last of the news for today. Thank you very much for joining us. If you want it, you can follow us on Twitter at FillMyChambers, and you can follow Gareth
at GMorgan04.
And you can follow everyone at WhatCulture WWE. Make sure to subscribe to the video, like the video, and let us know down below what you think of all of today's stories, including who you think the heels belong to. Who could it possibly be? But most importantly, go and have yourselves a bloody good day. Bye.
Bye.